Let us begin with a pervasive nutritional myth. Many of us view vitamins simply as generic energy boosters or a daily insurance policy packed into a convenient morning pill. We assume that if a little is good, a massive dose must be better. But human physiology tells a vastly different story. These tiny organic compounds are not raw fuel, nor are they a magical cure-all. They are the highly specific, invisible architects of our cellular machinery. Today, we peel back the layers of marketing to reveal the fundamental science of vitamins. We will uncover their precise biochemical roles, their fascinating historical discoveries, and the profound truths they hold about the intricate workings of our bodies. To understand vitamins, we must first define micronutrients. Micronutrients are essential dietary elements required by organisms in varying quantities throughout life to orchestrate a range of physiological functions to maintain health. Unlike macronutrients, which are carbohydrates, proteins, and fats that provide bulk energy, micronutrients yield no direct energy calories. Instead, they act as the essential chemical keys that unlock the energy stored within our food. Without them, the complex biological engine of the human body grinds to a halt. The realization that our bodies require these specific invisible compounds is a relatively recent triumph of science. For centuries, diseases of nutritional deficiency were misunderstood as infections, genetic flaws, or curses. Consider the devastating plague of scurvy that ravaged sailors during the Age of Exploration. It was not until the mid-18th century that a Scottish physician named James Lind conducted what is widely considered one of the first controlled clinical trials. Lind discovered that citrus fruits could cure scurvy, yet he did not know why. It would take nearly 2 centuries for scientists to isolate the specific active compound, known today as vitamin C or ascorbic acid. This breakthrough catalyzed a paradigm shift in medicine. It proved that a disease could be caused not by a pathogen entering the body, but by the fact that the body lacks a critical molecule. A few decades before the true nature of vitamin C was understood, a Dutch physician named Christian Eijkman was studying a devastating neurological and cardiovascular disease called beriberi in the Dutch East Indies. He noticed that chickens fed a diet of polished white rice developed symptoms identical to beriberi, while those fed unpolished brown rice remained healthy. He hypothesized that the rice bran contained an essential anti-disease factor. We now know this factor was vitamin B1, or thiamine. The polishing process, which strips away the outer layers of the grain to improve shelf life, inadvertently removed the very nutrient required to metabolize the starchy core of the rice. This historical case perfectly illustrates the unintended consequences of food processing on our micronutrient intake. In the early 20th century, the Polish biochemist Casimir Funk proposed the concept of vital amines, believing these mysterious anti-disease factors were all chemical compounds containing nitrogen, known as amines. While we now know that not all of them are amines, the name stuck, evolving into the word vitamins. This marked the dawn of modern nutritional science. Research indicates that human survival depends on 13 essential vitamins. Scientists organize these into 2 diverse classifications based on how they interact with fluids. This is not just a chemical trivia fact. It dictates how our bodies absorb, transport, store, and excrete these compounds. The 2 categories are water-soluble vitamins and fat-soluble vitamins. Let us first examine the water-soluble group, which includes vitamin C and the 8 distinct B vitamins. Because our bodies are largely composed of water, these vitamins are easily absorbed directly into the bloodstream during digestion. However, this same solubility means they are generally not stored in large amounts. Our kidneys tightly regulate their levels, filtering out the excess into our urine. Therefore, our dietary needs for water-soluble vitamins are continuous. We must replenish them regularly through our food. The B vitamins are a masterclass in biological collaboration. They function primarily as coenzymes. A coenzyme is a non-protein compound that is necessary for the functioning of an enzyme. Think of enzymes as the factory workers of your cells, and coenzymes as their specialized tools. Without the tool, the worker cannot perform the task. B vitamins are heavily involved in metabolism. Metabolism refers to the complex set of life-sustaining chemical reactions within the cells of living organisms, particularly the processes that convert food into usable cellular energy. When you eat a bowl of oatmeal, your digestive system breaks down the complex carbohydrates into glucose. But that glucose cannot instantly power your muscles. It must be converted into a usable energy currency called ATP. This conversion is a multi-step biochemical pathway that relies heavily on B vitamins. Vitamin B1 helps extract energy from those carbohydrates. Vitamin B2, riboflavin, and vitamin B3, niacin, carry electrons back and forth across the cellular assembly line. Vitamin B5, pantothenic acid, is crucial for synthesizing coenzyme A, a molecule central to all energy production. They do not give you energy directly, but they make it chemically possible for your body to generate it. Vitamin C operates differently. It is a potent antioxidant, a molecule that neutralizes harmful free radicals, protecting our cells from oxidative stress and structural damage. It is also strictly required for the synthesis of collagen, the primary structural protein in our skin, blood vessels, and connective tissues. This explains why scurvy, the profound deficiency of vitamin C, results in bleeding gums and poor wound healing. But water-soluble vitamins have a vulnerability. They are highly susceptible to degradation from heat and water. Boiling vegetables can leach significant amounts of vitamin C and B vitamins into the cooking water. Studies show that gentler cooking methods, like steaming or microwaving, are far superior for preserving these delicate compounds. Now we shift our focus to the fat-soluble vitamins, which include vitamins A, D, E, and K. Their journey through the body is entirely different. Because they do not dissolve in water, they require dietary fat for proper absorption. When you consume foods rich in fat-soluble vitamins, they bind to lipids in your digestive tract. Bile acids produced by the liver break down these fats into tiny droplets, allowing the vitamins to be absorbed through the intestinal wall and into the lymphatic system before finally entering the bloodstream. This reliance on fat has a profound consequence for storage. Unlike their water-soluble counterparts, fat-soluble vitamins can be stockpiled in the liver and fatty tissues for months. This evolutionary adaptation allowed our ancestors to survive periods of dietary scarcity. However, in the modern era of highly fortified foods and concentrated supplements, this storage capacity presents a risk. Because we do not readily excrete the excess, consuming massive doses of fat-soluble vitamins can lead to toxicity, a dangerous condition known as hypervitaminosis. Let us look closely at vitamin A to understand its specific roles. It is heavily involved in cellular differentiation, immune function, and vision. Inside your retina are specialized light-sensitive cells called rods, which are responsible for vision in low light. These rods rely on a protein called rhodopsin, and vitamin A is a core structural component of this protein. When light hits the retina, it physically changes the shape of the vitamin A molecule, triggering a nerve impulse to the brain. This is why one of the earliest signs of a vitamin A deficiency is night blindness, an inability to see in dim conditions. Vitamin D presents another fascinating biological mechanism. It is unique among vitamins because, under the right conditions, our bodies can synthesize it entirely on their own. When ultraviolet B rays from sunlight strike our skin, they convert a cholesterol derivative into a precursor of vitamin D. This precursor then travels to the liver and kidneys, where it is converted into its active form. In its active state, vitamin D functions more like a hormone than a traditional vitamin. It regulates calcium and phosphorus absorption in the gut, ensuring the mineralization and strength of our skeleton. Research indicates that beyond common knowledge of bone health, Vitamin D also plays critical functions in modulating the immune system and reducing systemic inflammation. Let us complete the fat-soluble picture with vitamins E and K. Vitamin E acts as a powerful fat-soluble antioxidant. Because our cell membranes are primarily composed of lipids, they are highly vulnerable to oxidative damage. Vitamin E embeds itself within these cellular walls, acting as a structural shield against free radicals. Vitamin K, on the other hand, is the master regulator of blood coagulation. When you sustain an injury, vitamin K activates a cascade of proteins that form a clot to stop the bleeding. Furthermore, emerging research indicates that vitamin K works in tandem with vitamin D to direct calcium into the bones and teeth, keeping it out of the soft tissues where it could cause arterial calcification. Understanding these diverse classifications is crucial for meeting our dietary needs. But simply consuming a vitamin is only half the battle. We must also consider bioavailability. Bioavailability refers to the proportion of a nutrient that is digested, absorbed, and metabolized through normal pathways. Simply put, it is the amount of the vitamin that actually makes it into your systemic circulation to do its job. Many factors influence bioavailability. The physical state of the food matters immensely. For example, the beta-carotene found in raw carrots, which our bodies convert into vitamin A, is tightly bound within the plant's tough cellular walls. Cooking the carrots slightly and eating them with a source of dietary fat dramatically increases the bioavailability of that beta-carotene. We must also acknowledge the profound role of the gut microbiome in our nutritional status. The gut microbiome refers to the trillions of symbiotic microorganisms living within our digestive tract. These bacteria are not merely passive passengers, they are active participants in our health. Scientists have discovered that certain strains of gut bacteria can actually synthesize essential vitamins, including vitamin K and several B vitamins, contributing directly to our daily requirements. A diverse, fiber-rich diet feeds these beneficial bacteria, ensuring this internal vitamin factory operates efficiently. This brings us to a critical evaluation of dietary supplements. A pervasive myth suggests that isolated synthetic vitamins in a pill are functionally identical to those found in whole foods. While supplements can be life-saving for addressing specific diagnosed clinical deficiencies, they are not a substitute for a balanced diet. Whole foods provide a complex matrix of vitamins, minerals, fiber, and thousands of phytochemicals that work synergistically. Isolating a single vitamin strips away this supporting cast. Studies show that high-dose supplementation in healthy individuals often fails to deliver the health benefits observed from eating a diet naturally rich in those same nutrients. In some cases, excessive supplementation can even disrupt the delicate absorption balance of other competing nutrients. The science of vitamins teaches us a lesson in biological precision. These molecules are not blunt instruments for energy, but highly specialized tools required for the microscopic choreography of life. From James Lind and the citrus cure for scurvy to the modern mapping of complex metabolic pathways, the historical discoveries surrounding vitamins highlight the profound connection between what we eat and how we function. By emphasizing the critical functions of these compounds and understanding the factors that dictate their absorption, we empower ourselves to make informed, evidence-based choices about our nutrition. We learn to look beyond common marketing claims and respect the intricate, balanced requirements of human physiology. True health does not come from a singular, isolated molecule, but from the harmonious symphony of nutrients working together within us.